Hello, this is Story Time with Lou. I'm in a different place in my life where I've come to the realization that if you want healing, you got to be willing to confront the skeletons in your closet. With that being said, I'm going to start by opening up my story as a child. This is part 1. Healing the little girl within. I am the oldest of 4 children, and I grew up in a small town in Dothan, Alabama. I'm considered the black sheep of the family, actually. And typically that meant to me that I was an outsider, but actually I didn't know I was an outsider until the specific events happened to me to make me understand that I was an outsider. Growing up as a child, I always knew I was different. I always knew that I was not like everybody else. I didn't necessarily understand that, but I knew that I was different. When I was about 9 years old, give or take 10, my mom's husband started touching me. I'll never forget the day that it happened. We used to stay with our grandmother, me and my sister. And at this particular time, he came to pick us up, and he was, quote unquote, teaching me how to drive. And I remember him putting his hand on my leg, and I had a nightgown on, and he would rub his finger, and I knew that that was inappropriate. But that's how it started. Fast forward. I didn't really believe in stepdad, stepfather terminology, but it became a term that was used for me when I began to be violated. Again, he would put his hand on my leg, and he would rub upwards towards like my hips all the way up. And it just started out like that. And then things escalated. Some time went by, and I remember this incident where I was in my bed, and my stepdaddy, again, I don't like that terminology, but it is what it is. My stepdaddy dipped snuff, CC snuff. And I remember him one night coming into my room, and I had my own bedroom, and then my sister and my little sister had a bedroom, and my brother, he had his own bedroom. And we lived in the projects, and this particular night, he came into my room, and I never forgot this thing. He was leaning over on me. He tried to kiss me, and he dipped snuff, so that was disgusting. But I remember my mom walking in, and she asked him what was he doing, and he told her, I'm making Beanie Boo, because that was my nickname, say her prayers, and she walked out. So for a long time, I was under the impression that my mom did not know. And I'm talking about a long time. I did not remember this incident when he had walked in until after my mom had passed. And mind you, my mom had passed in 2014. My stepfather passed a long time ago. He passed when I was like 13 or 14 years old. That's going to have to be in another episode, another series, because it's a lot to unpack in one setting. But I want to do my best to convey all the details without offending anybody, because this is what happened to me. But I know that there's somebody out there in the world that has went through childhood, adolescent, teenage, young adult, and adult with traumas, and they don't know how to heal. So I pray that you learn from my testimony and my situation, and you do the necessary work so that you can heal. So with healing, let me just express this. Around 6th grade, I went and told that the situation happened. That was the worst mistake of my life, because my entire family, now mind you, out of 4 children, I was the oldest, and so therefore my stepdad was not my biological dad, and my daddy, I knew my real dad, but we didn't have like a close relationship, okay? And so I went and told, because we had like sexual education during that time, in my time of being a child. And so there were signs, and they said, go tell somebody. So I did that. And then with that being said, I was called everything under the sun. I was a liar. I tried to destroy people's family. And so, and I got, not even to mention, I got beat for telling the truth. So I suppressed the freaking truth for the rest of my life. When somebody did something to me, I would not go and tell it, because I got in trouble for telling the truth. I was told that I was a liar. The family that I knew to be my family was no longer my family, because I tried to harm their brother. I tried to harm their uncle and all of this stuff. And this, it gets worse. It gets worse. So at some point, my stepfather gets ill and very sick. He ended up passing. In his passing, my cousins reveals, shortly after the funeral, I'm talking about the day of the funeral or the next day, right? They revealed to me that they knew it. I'm just 13. And my whole life has been taken from me because y'all knew that this was going on. And then to make it so bad, they made me do oral. And these are people that I looked at as my family. I didn't see any type of other relationship. That this is my cousin, my uncle, my dad. To be continued, y'all. To be continued.